flirted with springtime. It was there, just on the other side of the canal, evident in the shoots he saw popping up from the earth. Over the last few days, someone, in all these years he had never seen a person working in the garden, had raked the earth, though he noticed it only now. Tiny white flowers were visible amidst the grass, and those fearless little ones that hugged themselves close to the ground, the names of which he could never remember, the little yellow and pink ones, sprouted from the freshly turned earth. He opened the windows and felt fresh air flood into his overheated room. It brought with it the scent of new growth or rising sap, or whatever it was that led to spring fever and an atavistic urge towards happiness. Birds, he noticed, were busy on the ground, no doubt pleased to discover that the worms had somehow been lured to the surface. Two of them squabbled over something, then one of them flew away, and Brunetti watched it disappear to the left of the church. "Excuse me," he heard someone say behind him. He wiped away his smile before he turned. It was Vianello, wearing his uniform and looking far more serious than he should on such a lovely day. From the expression on the inspector's face and the stiffness of his body, Brunetti wondered if he should address him with the formal lei, a grammatical formality they had abandoned on Vianello's promotion to inspector. "Yes, what is it?" Brunetti asked in a friendly tone, while evading the grammatical issue. "I wondered if you had a moment," Vianello said, using the familiar tu, and not referring to Brunetti as sir, thus increasing the likelihood that this would be an informal conversation. Further to relax the atmosphere, Brunetti said, "I was just looking at those flowers across the way." He gestured with his head towards the garden. "And wondering what we were doing inside on a day like this." "First day you begin to feel it's spring," Vianello agreed, smiling at last. "I always used to play hooky." "Me too," said Brunetti, who had not. "What did you do?" Vianello came towards him and sat in the chair on the right, his usual chair, and said, "My older brother delivered fruit to Rialto, so that's where I'd go. Instead of going to school, that is. I'd go over to the market and meet him and help him carry crates of fruit and vegetables all morning, and then go home for lunch at the same time I usually got home from school." He smiled again, and then he laughed. "My mother always knew. I don't know how she did, but she always asked me how things were at Rialto, and why I hadn't brought her any artichokes." Vianello shook his head at the memory. "And now Nadia is the same with the kids. It's like she can read their minds and always knows when they haven't gone to school or have done something they shouldn't." He looked at Brunetti. "You have any idea how they do it?" "Who, mothers?" "Yes." "You said it, Lorenzo. Mind reading." Brunetti judged that the atmosphere was sufficiently relaxed, so he asked, "What was it you wanted?" His question restored all of Vianello's nervousness. He uncrossed his legs and brought his feet together, sitting up straighter. "It's about a friend of mine," he said, and then paused. "He's in trouble." "What kind of trouble?" "With us." "The police?" Vianello nodded. "Here? In Venice?" Vianello shook his head and said, "No, in Mestre. That is, in Mogliano, but they were taken to Mestre." "Who?" "The people who were arrested." "Which people?" "The ones outside the factory." "The paint factory?" Brunetti asked, recalling an article he had seen in that morning's paper. "Yes." The Gazzettino had that day devoted the front page of its second section to a report of the arrest of 6 people during a No Global protest in front of a paint factory in Mogliano Veneto the previous day. The factory had been repeatedly fined for its failure to observe regulations on the disposal of toxic waste, but it continued to operate regardless, choosing to pay the small fines rather than invest in changes to its production methods. The protesters were demanding that the factory be closed and had tried to prevent the workers from entering. This had led to a confrontation between the protesters and the workers.